the #1 syndicated Christian hip-hop show.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot.
In the world.
Riding with my top down, listening to this Jesus music.
BlessBeats.com live with Marcus Sullivan. Your #1 source for what's poppin' in CHA.
The hottest songs in the city.
Brace yourself.
Coming in.
You can hear us wherever you are, all over the world. Especially right here. BlessedBeats.com live with Marcus Sullivan.
We talk to people doing good in your neighborhood and inspiring so many people around the world. You ever had a question about your purpose? Maybe you finding your purpose later in life. This interview, this conversation will definitely bless you. On the phone this morning, CEO of Tava Lifestyle, Mr. Kenny Lloyd. Good morning, sir.
How you doing, man? Happy Sunday morning to you.
Yes, sir. I'm reading through and I'm seeing so much about you, and I'm like, man, so many of us can feel this story, man. For those people that don't know you, you found your purpose, I want to say later in life, but man, introduce yourself and tell us about you.
Listen, my name is Kenny Lloyd. I reside in Houston, Texas, and as Marcus said, I'm the CEO of Tava Lifestyle, a health and wellness company, direct sale company. And, man, I've been in this industry for 13 years. And as you were saying, Marcus, I found my purpose, man, and was born again at an age where most people start dying, and I'm talking about dying mentally, because they think their life, or their dreams are dead, man. I started over at 50 years old, man.
Wow.
And, I mean, for real. So, and I try to tell my friends and people that, look, man, your dreams die when you stop believing it. And I had high expectations of what I was going to be at 50. I'm not lying, man. I was in the mortgage industry, for 18 years, man, and I made a lot of money. And when it flatlined and, and just died, man, it left me, man. I was in a dark space, man, because I made a lot of money, and I was leaning on a lie for a long time, and that lie was that I was in financial dire straits because the industry collapsed. But I was in financial dire straits, man, because I'm just handling my money.
Man.
And at 50 years old, man, I mean, I was living like the money I was earning, man. I was just, man, I don't know what I was on, man. I don't know, man. I was just in a dark space, man. I was, and so at 50, man, I had to come to Jesus situation, man, because the industry collapsed. I couldn't, at 50, who's hiring somebody? How am I going to replace the six-figure income?
Wow.
And man, and I was broke, man. When I'm talking about broke, I'm talking about the kind of broke, man. I went to HBCU, man. I went to Tennessee State University, man.
Okay.
And the one thing you learn at those universities, man, you learn how to survive, man. So what I learned, man, I learned how to turn my electricity on when it got turned off. Okay, I learned how to rig my cable. I learned how to turn my water back on.
Yes, sir.
No lie, man.
Yeah.
And you got to understand that, man, I came from a lifestyle, man, that my father was the first African American to play in the NBA, in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Coach to Detroit Pistons. So I didn't come from that kind of life, but my choices created that kind of life for me.
Man, let's dive into that. Let's dive into that, man. For anybody that's listening right now and you're thinking, man, maybe you don't know your purpose or maybe you quote unquote passed your prime and what is God to have you do? He is now 61. He said he found his purpose at age 50. And then this is a true story of redemption. And just like you just said, you were broke and you had to find your way and you found it again. But man, thinking about this, you just said your dad, your father, Earl Lloyd, played in the NBA.
Right.
So you would think you gotta tell us that story of. I'm sure your lifestyle wasn't like growing up as a kid, like a lot of people's lifestyle. You had a father in the NBA.
Yeah, what people really don't get, man, and I guarantee if you ever had the opportunity to talk to other kids, man, whose parents were celebrities, man, you learn that there's good, and there's bad to it. And the bad is, man, like you're always in that person's shadow. Like I didn't have the luxury of making a lot of the mistakes that most kids make, man, or do the things they make, smoke. Like, man, the time my friends are smoking weed out in public, and I told them, I can't do that, man, because, see, if you get caught, you know, you're getting a slap on the wrist. If I get caught, I'm in Jet Magazine, and I'm disgracing my father's name, man, a name that you got to understand that he worked hard to build, man. I mean, you know, you got to think, man, you think about being the first black to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
Man, you got to know, man, that he wasn't just chosen. He had great athletic ability, but he wasn't just chosen because of his athletic ability. He was chosen because they did a psychological profile on the people, the candidates that were going to be first. And they had to know that those people had the capacity to withstand everything that they were going to encounter from white people.
Wow.
Being, calling the N-word and people spitting on them and everything, man. They had to know that those people wouldn't explode, because had my father exploded when they called his mother the N-word, ran up in the stands and hit somebody that was white.
Right.
Oh man, he would have set basketball back for African Americans probably 17 years.
Wow.
You would have never known about Bill Russell in his prime.
Wow.
He'd have been like Satchel Paige. You would have never known of any of these other players, of Wilt Chamberlain in his prime. He would have set it back. So the point is, it's the responsibility that he carried, and it's the same thing for me. Like my father worked hard to build the reputation in his name, man. And so for me to be a young man, I had a responsibility not to disgrace it. So, man, in my position.
Absolutely. On the phone.
From the responsibility.
On the phone, Kenny Lloyd, CEO of Tava Lifestyle. We're walking this thing up, man, from a legacy, and I'm thanking God that for your legacy and the person that you are today. Spending 15 years building multi-million-dollar empires. Man, take us back. Let's walk this thing up for those people that are listening, man. For you to help others or build a multi-million-dollar empire, where did it start? Take us back to the day that it started, when the thought happened. Because people know your glory, they don't know the story. Take us back to day one.
I was, I was just broke. I was on my knees, man, for 2 years. And I think God was preparing me, and just seeing that you could trust me. I had to earn the abundance that he's given me, man. And I had to earn the right to be his servant. And he had to know that I was going to do it. So, man, for 3 years, man, we were just in a dark place, man. And then one day, my wife, Lloyd, and I got to shout it out to Shantae. She's not on this interview, man, but if it were not for her, I wouldn't be worthy of being on this platform that she's giving me, man.
Yes,
so
sir.
I got to shout out to my beautiful wife, man, because the woman is the spirit of the man, man. She could have killed my spirit and killed our dreams, but she didn't. So we joined. We had a friend of mine, my wife's, and she was in this business, man. This company called, I'm going to give it a shout out, called Artists International.
Yeah. And,
man, listen, and they sold women's garments. So you got to know, man, mentally, I'm thinking, man, I'm a premier, financier. But that's what my mind was telling me. But really, what it was.
This is after the mortgage company. This is after the mortgage company.
This is after the mortgage. This is after the mortgage, man.
Yes, sir. Keep going.
I was still thinking that I was a premier financier, but really, what it was, man, I was broke.
Man.
And my mind was playing tricks on me, like I'm something that I'm not, man. And so my wife said, "Listen, we got this company, and we need to join it, and we need to join it with my mother, with my best friend's mother." And I was like, "Hey, I got this other dude who's talking to me about it, Sean, and he looked like he about his money, and he looked like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on principle, man, I listened to my wife, and we did the right thing, man, because the guy that I was going to join the company, he was gone in 30 days. The lady that we joined with, she's my angel. Her name is Barbara Brown out of Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
And she forever in my life became my angel, because I didn't have $300 to even start the business. Wow. And she told me, I said, I'm not going to borrow it. I don't have it. She said, baby, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the money to join, and I'm going to give you some product to let people try on and experience it, right?
Wow.
And long story short, man, that became my driving force. I needed her to know it wasn't about the money. I didn't chase the money. It was about this woman blessed me, and I needed her to know that it was not in vain, man. So we started on zero, broke. 5 months into the game, man, we earned over $250,000. Hit the top position in the company. But what I found, I didn't find the money. I didn't find my angel. My angel was always there waiting for me, man, but I found my purpose.
Wow.
And that's why we had the success that we had, and that's why we continue to have the success, man, because God knew that we were prepared to fulfill our purpose, and he knew that he could trust me in a state of abundance. He knew that I would be a servant leader. He knew that the money wouldn't rule me, that I would rule the money. He knew that I would do the right thing with the money, man. And here we are, 15 years later, man, my journey from being broke, knowing nothing about the industry, just using my God-given skills. Every step of the way, man, he prepared me for ownership and prepared me and my wife for this moment we're in. We left a company that blessed us too. And it's funny, man, I was listening to Joe Osteen, and Joe was saying that, don't wonder why people cheat you. Don't wonder why they hurt you. Don't wonder why they character assassinate you. He said because sometimes God knows that in your flesh you won't move, but sometimes he has to hurt you. He has to betray you and make people betray you into your purpose.
Wow.
And my purpose, because I would have never left that company. But, man, what happened over there hurt me to my core, and it forced me, man, to take that leap of faith. And, man, here it is. We beat the odds, man. We are an African-American owned and operated company that next month will be our 12th month. And, man, we have beat the odds, and we have exceeded by far the expectations that have been placed upon us, man. And we have so many people whose lives are changing, and that's what we're all about, man. I could talk about my product. I could talk about, man, what I talk about is my mission, my assignment. My assignment is to lead people out of poverty, man, like Moses led the people out of Egypt, man. And that's what we're doing. It's not about making people rich. It's rich is relative. It's about showing people how to have a better quality of life and to let people like me know that even at 61 years old, man, I'll be 62, man, I still have dreams. I still want a jet. I still want a yacht. Yeah. And I believe that it's going to happen. But why? Because, man, I haven't given up on me.
Wow. Man,
I never gave up on me, man.
Like they say, man, being faithful over a few, this is a true story of that, and God blessing you with many. You guys hearing this story, goosebumps in the studio, man. And like you just said, man, your mission, you help 14 families become multi-millionaires through direct sales. Now, talk about that, man. Somebody's listening right now is like, man, I want to be the 15. Like, how did that? And then just break down Tava Lifestyle. You the CEO of it. With the name, the meaning, all of that.
Look, man. I contribute. Say this, man. I contributed to 14 families becoming multimillionaires, man. But they were people that God had chosen for abundance. And what he did was he had me walk the trail first, so therefore I could show other people the way. Yeah. And he taught me how to speak the language where people would understand that I'm teaching them something. I'm sharing with them something, man. But they were people that already were chosen for this, man, that were just earning their stripes. And I helped them along the way, man. And it was a beautiful thing to sit. The most beautiful thing about making money is not for you to be the only one sitting at the table making money. It's a beautiful thing to be sitting at a table where everybody's fighting to say who's going to pay the bill.
Say that.
Okay?
Yeah.
And where you're taking everybody to another level. But that's what I say, man. It's not about the 14 million. Imagine if I help 14 people become millionaires, how many thousandaires that were created because of that?
Yeah, man.
But that's more impactful because 14 people is nothing when you're doing God's work. It's not the 14 people. Those are the people that the world recognizes, man. It is the thousands of people that became thousandaires whose lives changed. They started believing that, why can't I have a new car? Why can't my child go to college? Why can't my wife, do some nice things? Why can't? Because they started believing, because I can. Yeah. I just have to believe, and I have to operate on principle and put in the work. And that's what they started doing, and that's what's happening. And with Tava, look, man, we're African-American owned and operated, man, but that is not enough for me. A lot of people say, hey, you're a black man. Listen, there are a lot of black-owned companies that do horrible work, that have no character, right?
Right.
We're not just a black-owned company, Marcus. We operate on black excellence, man. We operate in the spirit of excellence.
Wow.
And that's what we exude. And I got that from my father and my mother. We operate on the spirit of excellence, man. We feel like this, man, that the name of the company is Tava. We wanted to name the company ARC, but we couldn't get a trademark. So we have a beautiful, bright millennial in my office, man, and I'll never forget when I told her she was standing there, and I was saying, man, we couldn't get the name. I don't know what we're gonna do. She said, "Listen, Lord, I just looked it up, and the name Tava is Hebrew for Noah's Ark, and they spoke Hebrew during that time. And you know what? This young lady was supposed to be working with me. She's another person, man, a bright young mind, and you got to have those around you.
Yeah.
And she's another bright young mind who helped me come up with the name, who came up with the name Tava. Man, it cleared like nothing. And, man, I'm telling you, and we have been sailing. Man, we had enlisted the services of people to help build this ark, but the ark is built, and now we knew a storm was coming, man, and COVID was the storm.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people lost their jobs, man. A lot of people who work in restaurants and bars and just people lost their jobs. But guess what? We, like the ark, man, we've been sailing around the world, man, showing people that, hey, we can show you how to from home, from your phone.
Yeah.
We can say we are phone-based business. I can show you from home how you can maintain some kind of quality of your life. You don't have to stick your hand out and depend on our president to give you a handout, $1,200. You don't have to stand in lines and everything. I can show you how to retain your dignity and get it yourself.
Man, I love that the entrepreneur spirit. I love your heart for wanting to give back. You're just tuning in. Kenny Lloyd, CEO of Tava, which translates to ARC. I love it. Lifestyle. Man, for somebody that's actually listening right now and is like, man, this sounds great. I want to get in, right? That's one thing for somebody. But for the other person that says, I wanna do something with the company, or what can I get from the company? Explain Tava Lifestyle.
Listen, all you have to do is go to TavaLifestyle.com. You can go on Facebook if you're looking for somebody to join in the business. We have a host of very solid people that have character and integrity. If you go to Tava Lifestyle HQ, that's HQ as in headquarters on Facebook, you can see some of our leadership there, And but I would say go to TavaLifestyle.com. You can see our products. It's our website, and you'll see enough to make a decision. And then once you see, if you want, listen, even if you want, Marcus, anybody say they want to try our product, man, we let people try our product for free, man. We send out free samples of our product.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And our thing is you try it before you buy it, because you got to know, man, that our product works, man, if we send out a free sample first, okay?
For
so,
sure.
man, listen, and before we done, look, man, it's people like you that give people like me a platform to really serve and help people, man, that expose what we're really doing, man. And it's important for our communities, man, that we have people like you in your platform, man, to do this, man. So I want you to know that my wife and I honored and we're very grateful for you giving us the opportunity, man, to share our story and talk about our company, because our story is designed to bless people, man. And I'm glad that you gave us a greater platform. So I just want you to know, man, we're very grateful and appreciative.
Oh, absolutely, man. And you guys go check that out, TavaLifestyle.com. That's TAVA Lifestyle.com. For those millennials that's listening, man, and they're hearing you and they're so inspired about your story and your wife's story, how active are you with your personal social media? Are you on it every day? Or are you giving tips for people that wanted to follow you?
Look, what I do, man, and if you should check us out, man, because, we got a foundation as well, man, called Lloyd Family Foundation. And in terms of millennials, man, my alma mater, Tennessee State University, man, I've helped, like 6 students in the last 2 years complete college. Wow. And I value the millennial minds, man, because they are the minds, they are the people that are our future. And in my office, man, my daughter works with me full time. She's a millennial, the young lady I told you about. So, man, I always, man, pro bono, no charge. Man, millennials reach out to me on Kenny Lloyd on Facebook. Yeah, I'm old school. You know, it is what it is. But you know what? I got old school, got some good information for you that'll teach you how not to make the mistakes I made and how to have the success that you want, you know, and find yourself. So you can reach out to me, Kenny Lloyd, on Facebook. And look, I mentor for free, man. Any millennial reach out to me, man. But just know when you reach out to people who really care about you, don't reach out and talk about your money because our conversation is going to be short. Talk about what your dreams are.
Yeah.
Ask me how to use your gifts. How did I find out what my gifts were? Ask me how did I overcome the struggle. And I'll give you something. But don't call me and talk about, man, what's it feel like to have that money? Because our conversation is going to be real short.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely. Bro, I absolutely love this, man. 61 years old, you can hear the fire still burning hot in his spirit and he's and the heart to give back. Found his purpose later in life, which translates that it's not too late for you. CEO of Tava Lifestyle, Kenny Lloyd on the phone. Sir, I appreciate you stopping through the show. I appreciate you motivating people just to let them know it is not too late and whatever their circumstances come from, they can always overcome. Last time, how people can reach the site, how people can reach you last time.
Hey, man, one more time, TavaLifestyle.com, Tava Lifestyle HQ on Facebook. You can reach me at Kenny Lloyd. And, man, again,